Gentlemen, Jason Andrews, the All-American Driver. Welcome back to another episode. Today we are doing something that just kind of fell into my lap, all right? This was a Facebook Marketplace purchase. It's really going to help out the move, I think, when Andrea and I move cross-country. Let me show you guys what this is. Obviously, 2017 Raptor. More on the Super 73 later. Here we go. We got leaf springs. Deavers leaf springs +3 HD. Now that should like increase the capacity in the bed by like 450 pounds, and it actually should really increase my towing capacity. So like when I have the tent and stuff on there, hopefully this thing doesn't really sag too much. There's something else that I have also. Eibach springs. And this is the hardware for the Deavers. And then I have the SDHQ bump stop relocation pad. So I really kind of got this set up to help out with the tow. However, I hear that the Deavers are like a night and day performance difference, like that they're way smoother and they're just better on-road and off-road. And because it's going to be lifting the back end a couple inches, you have to get the Eibach basically to lift the front a couple inches. So I think that when today is all said and done and we get the truck back, it might be almost 2 inches higher. Now, I wasn't planning on lifting this truck, to be honest. I kind of like that it's a little bit low because it's so wide. It almost makes it look even more like a super truck. But I'm sure being up a couple inches is not going to hurt anything, that's for sure. And okay, so the reason I got the Super 73 in here is because today I actually don't have a ride home. So I'm basically going to get to this place I'm going, and then I'm going to unload the bike and then ride it home. A little silly, I know. Last thing about today is that I'm trying out a new shop. Everybody that I wanted to do this install was busy, but Kitsap Auto Customs is taking on this job, and just kind of browsing their Facebook page and stuff. They do some, obviously, like a ton of work and stuff, so I think that they will be fine. And real quick, before we take off, let me measure how high the truck is real quick. We're just over 39.5 in the back, and let me measure the front. We're actually at 39.25 in the front. And I do probably have another 150 pounds in the back. Those Deavers are heavy. It's a good thing I've been going to the gym. So there is like a slight rake to the truck. I think that's what you call it when it's a little higher in the back. So yeah, there's about a ½ inch difference right now between the front and the rear. Hopefully the Eibach and the Deavers make it sit a little bit level. If it still has a little bit of a rake, I don't really mind that look more than I would mind that look, right? I definitely don't want that. So, all right, before it gets too late, let's get out of here. All right, here we are, Kitsap Custom Auto. Wish me luck. Again, this is a new shop I have never been to before. We'll see. All right, guys, I just picked up the truck from Kitsap Customs, and it is way higher. It is way higher. I'm gonna get home and measure this thing, but so this is the Eibach in the front, okay, and the Deavers +3 HD in the back. Now, I haven't driven this thing yet, so I don't know exactly how it's going to drive. I'm worried that it's going to be a little bit stiff in the back without any weight in it, because again, these things are really to help with extra load capacity in the bed and towing capacity. So I'm hoping it's not too stiff. I'm hoping that it's I don't know, everyone just says it's like a night and day difference. So I'm really looking forward to it. We're gonna drive it here in a second. I'm gonna wait to measure it until I get home, just because I know what ground I was on. I know exactly like in my parking spot, but even just like going for the door, I can tell like it's a good probably 2 inches or so higher. We also did the bump stop plate relocation. So just behind there's a plate on this back side, and basically that's the relocation plate for the bump stop. So when it comes down, it's going to be coming down because the Deavers push the truck up a little bit. The bump stop actually sits a little bit higher. So anyway, so they're still going to work. It's not going to like bottom out on the frame or anything like that. So enough talking about this thing. It looks incredible. I think it's going to have tons more road presence, but let's drive it and just see, like, kind of on the way home how it feels. Okay, so actually this road that we're going on can tend to be a little bit bumpy. Everything feels pretty normal actually, which is exactly what I wanted. You know what, actually, it seems to be soaking up the bumps more, like a good bit more. This thing is riding smoother. I was not sure that was gonna happen, but yeah, this thing is riding smoother, and it feels like a little, the turn in the front, the springs I think are stiffer in the front. I am getting like a little bit more turn-in, a little bit more handling actually. That's a surprise. Yeah, I mean, you guys can't really tell, but this road right here is filled with just tons of little bumps and kind of blemishes in the road. And of course we're in traffic. But I will say, so far so good. You know, without like really taking this thing off road, very happy with how this thing is driving right now. Very, very happy. It looks incredible. It's a few inches taller, which is actually pretty badass. Like I wasn't sure if I was gonna like it or not, but we're sitting up taller. The steering feels a little bit sharper. The front springs I think are stiffer, which is giving me like a little bit more control here. And the back is just like, we're just soaking up everything on the road. Plus, I have just like a ton more payload capacity. Now don't quote me, I don't mean a literal ton, but I think it's like plus 450 pounds in the back, and then I don't really know what it does to towing capacity, but I know it's got to be up. You know, I know it's got to be up. So I'm just gonna kind of snake my way through all this traffic here, and we'll get home and we'll measure the ride height, and we'll see like actually how high this thing got, you know. So anyways, this was the first time I've used Kitsap Customs. They came recommended to me. I'm probably gonna take the truck back in about 500 miles, maybe 1,000 miles. Just make sure everything is torqued down still, because I think that that's a good thing to check. And but so far so good. You know, I didn't get an opportunity to talk to the mechanic who actually installed these, which is kind of a bummer. But you know, if I don't have any problems, I mean, what's the point? You know, what's the point in talking with them, you know? But I do like to build a little rapport with who's working on my truck and stuff. And I'm sure, you know, if I go back or something, I'll kind of try to make sure, you know, that I see them face to face. So, but so far, you know, the process was good. It was a little bit cheaper than they originally quoted me. And yeah, I couldn't be happier. Kitsap Customs, if you guys need work done, I'm gonna give them a thumbs up for now. So yeah, all right, let's get home. Okay, moment of truth. Now, I actually forgot what the earlier measurements were, so I'm gonna post them below at the bottom. Here are the before measurements, and let's figure out the after measurements. About 41 3/4 in the front. Wow, almost 42.5 in the rear. So again, I don't remember exactly, but I can tell you this thing is 1.5 inches, 2 inches taller. I think it's possible that it might settle a little bit, but initial impressions, I love the look of it. I love the feel of it. I believe it's gonna give me way better performance on and off-road, and it's gonna drastically increase my load capacity and towing capacity. So I think it's a win all around. What do you guys think? I know you're really not supposed to like lift Raptors. I wouldn't necessarily say this is like a lift, but the truck is just looking incredible here. Very happy. The dog likes it also. So I think that's it for me, Jason Andrews, the All-American Driver. I will see you guys in the next episode.